Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted, man. What the fuck?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 122 of the Topless Robot podcast. My name is Ryan.
I'm Tyler in HD.
I am here.
And I am not there.
That is true. And it's been a week. First off, I want to address a couple of big bombshell celebrity deaths. Larry King died. He was 83, I think.
87.
87, that's right. And
COVID.
Oh, COVID took him? I didn't see any of the details on it. I just saw that he died. And I knew that he was up there. I mean, seeing especially some of his more recent interviews, he just seems very old. You know, like watching him interview Eric Andre was interesting, to say the least. He was not really having any of Eric Andre's nonsense. And Eric Andre was just enjoying being Eric Andre being interviewed by Larry King.
To be fair, Larry King's been old since 1985.
Yeah.
That man reached max level quite quickly and then just never.
And Hank Aaron, baseball
in the 70s,
baseball legend and civil rights legend Hank Aaron died. He must have been 87. I think he was. I knew
He might have been 90.
He was up there.
He was old. He was. Why are you trying to make me do math, Wikipedia? Just put it at the top. That's really annoying. He was born in 1934. February of 1934. So whatever that math is.
Yeah, math. So,
94. 95. Well, 94 because he probably didn't turn 95.
Yeah.
80.
I knew that.
Look at
math.
Topless Robot does math for recently deceased icon.
So rest in peace to both of them. Both of them had tremendous impact on society and the world at large. So it's sad to see him go, but not unpredictable considering their ages.
Just kind of weird to live in a world without Larry King. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, that's obviously
he's been a cornerstone, for so long.
Like movies, news, everything. Like every movie that has a news section in it where they do like one of those news cuts and cut to the people getting interviewed. Larry King's always there. Like
it's
always.
Like when did the guy who hosted Inside the Actors Studio die?
James, that was
Mankiewicz?
Isn't it James Lipton or whatever the fuck his name is?
Yeah. Yes. Lipton, like the tea.
Yes. He was another one of those where, like, you know, he's just always been there and had such a unique style of interviewing. And I mean, same with Larry King, where it's just weird to be in a post-Lipton world. It's weird to be in a post-King world. You just kind of never, even though they were both old, they both, you know, were on their way out anyway. Like it shouldn't be a surprise. It just, you know, when those icons, or Alex Trebek even, when those, you know, icons who have spent more time on camera than off in their life, you just kind of don't expect them to not be there one day.
They become like a fact of your life, kind of.
They all died working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They all like, I mean, he did. Larry King probably was doing interviews as late as last week.
Yeah, right. In other news, President Biden was inaugurated. It was
just you wait.
Yeah. And
They was much
the
rejoicing.
Q
This is my
crowd
surprise.
is freaking out because
It's so funny.
watching them realize that it was a grift the whole time, that they were duped. Like, and I'm sure, honestly, I know actually that not all of them think that they were duped, and they're still waiting for the you'll see. And still think
Wait.
that you'll see will come. Probably the craziest of the theories that I've read and heard is that the United States, it hasn't been a country since Taft.
Oh my God, that fucking bullshit. Oh,
And
man.
it's actually a corporation owned by the city of London. And that on the inauguration day, it would be the dissolution, that Biden wouldn't be inaugurated. The military would take over the corporation, which would violate the agreement with London. And for the first time since Taft, I think, who was our 18th president? Was it Taft? It was Taft. That for the first time since then,
Grant.
Grant.
Was the 18th.
Okay.
Hey,
For the first time since then, our country would no longer be a corporation. It would be a country, and Donald Trump would be sworn in as the 19th president of the United States.
Can we supercut you just saying that and then
What?
make it so like you're a
No.
make it so that's actually
No.
what you
I do not believe this. I do not believe these things.
I
wanna
want to
make
make this
it-
crazy fan fiction that somebody wrote that just got out of hand.
It's fucking insane.
it's like zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. It's like these people have watched too many political intrigue films and think that that's reality. It's absolutely insane. And obviously the inauguration came. That did not happen. And they're even like making a big to-do over the fact that Biden was sworn in 10 minutes
minutes
before
early.
noon, which means that he was sworn in while Trump was still technically president, which invalidates his presidency. And it's like, what the fuck are you lost. That's it. That's all it is. Come to terms with the fact that you were part of a major grift, and a fucking grifter, a con man, convinced you to try to overthrow the United States government for him.
It's like a really dark version of the Music Man.
Ryan, just wait.
Oh God.
Just wait.
And
Something's coming.
to add to all this, Q has made a statement.
Oh yeah.
And
Q
Q's
say?
latest statement signs off. And now keep in mind that 8kun has, like with anyone else, they've got little tag names. Whenever anyone posts, says anonymous. But verified Q messages have a special tag. And it's not possible to spoof that tag, according to 8kun admins. And the latest Q transmission signs off, "Hail Satan." And Q followers are literally eating themselves alive.
Well, when they spent all that money on Trump merchandise, what else they gonna eat?
Over at, what is it? The Awakening or whatever the fuck, where they do a bunch of Q message aggregation and deciphering and shit like that. The cucumbers, as they call themselves, are losing their minds. Admins are deleting posts as quickly as they're being posted. Like, it's just imploding. The whole thing is imploding.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. You know what? Good. Good. Just good. Fuck you.
Yep.
Go fuck yourselves, QAnon. Like, you're a fucking bunch of idiots, and you deserve everything that's coming. Like, honestly.
Meanwhile, for the very first time in history, President Biden is the first president to immediately go to work and sign executive orders immediately the same day that he was inaugurated.
Trump, the House staff, right before Biden got there, so they like weren't ready for them to move in right away. He sent all the fucking butlers and staff home that day.
Yeah.
I also heard that Trump started just rubbing his penis on everything in the house before Biden got in.
Gross. Replace everything. Replace the whole building.
I'm just imagining what the bathroom sink looks like with all that orange shit.
It's
like
just stained.
Stained.
They're like, man, did they replace the toilet with a gold?
Trump's kids like wrote their names on the bathroom wall in like Sharpie, or like how tall they were, at the beginning of. My dad's president, so he's gonna write a law that makes me get 4 inches taller at the end of the year.
Crossed out.
Eric Trump is just like, see, Dad, look how much I grew. Aren't you proud of me?
You see Barron Trump's name like written in and then crossed out in another hand and then written in again.
In his first day in office, Biden signed 17 executive orders, a number of which reversing a bunch of Trump things.
Pretty much got rid of like 80% of Trump's presidency because he did most of the stuff that was done during Trump's presidency was done through executive action, which can easily be like you don't have to go through. It's like the double-edged sword of executive orders. Like, you can just do it without Congress, but then it can also be undone without Congress. So
border walls halted. The travel ban, the Muslim ban, is halted. He made a lot of executive orders that have to do with COVID and vaccine distribution and production and things like that. Extended the eviction and foreclosure moratorium through March, I think, the end of March, I'm pretty sure. But did a large number of things. And again, for the first time, had the press room active day one on inauguration. She was ready and hit the ground running. Jen Psaki, the new White House.
She didn't tell everyone that that was the biggest, most attended inauguration of all time, man. Like
my arch rival was in attendance there. Garth Brooks.
Oh God,
I hate him. I hate him. In addition to making music that I'm not crazy about, every time it's like, "What's your name?" Oh, like Garth Brooks. Fuck off.
I love that he was there because he's pissing all the Republicans off because all the conservatives thought he was.
That was a strategic move.
He put on.
That was a strategic
slid
move.
into his formal denim, and
well, you see, I only wear these Wranglers on special occasions.
I actually didn't know that Garth. I will say I did not know that Garth Brooks was a liberal, but apparently that is a fairly well-known thing. He's been a liberal for most of his adult life.
Which is amazing because the Dixie Chicks got completely canceled over being liberals.
Yeah.
Well, they are women.
That's true.
What a nice week it's been since this inauguration, too.
And fuck, I can't remember her name, but our national poet laureate.
Oh.
Yeah, that was tight. I was about that.
Said her poem was one of the most inspirational, beautiful things I've ever heard, and
it was amazing.
It was great. It was great. I'm
She
very excited for the future.
she also threw in some Hamilton quotes in there.
Yes. And didn't she nerd out with someone on Twitter? Like she tweeted at Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. She's like, hey, Lin, did you catch the Hamilton the Hamilton references? I was actually listening to Amanda Gorman.
That's right.
Yeah. And I was actually listening to it and I heard like history has its eyes on us. And I'm like,
she
said the thing.
She has a fucking future. Like, good Lord. Yeah. Apparently, she promised.
And good taste in jackets.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She promised Michelle Obama that she was going to run for president in 2036.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Poet laureate for president 2036. This is the future liberals want.
Yes. Honestly? Yeah. Yes.
I would take a poet over a game show host any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Can we really quick just talk about the jacket game in general? Like everyone had amazing jackets at the fucking inauguration.
I want to talk about the mittens.
There was, of course, there was one woman. I don't know who she was. I didn't recognize her. She had curly hair and glasses, but what she was wearing was fucking really, really. It was librarian beautiful, where it was like a checked dress coat kind of thing with like gold frill, like
epaulets.
Yeah, something like that. It was like gold frill on the top, on her shoulders, and it was just. I thought she looked gorgeous. I thought it was not all this, making a statement kind of fashion stuff that a lot of the Biden family was wearing, or some of the other people were wearing. But it was something that super stood out to me as just a really understated, beautiful thing. And now all of a sudden we're a fashion podcast.
Yep. Hey, I mean, I like clothes. I think that Michelle Obama should have ripped the sleeves off of her arms and just flex those guns.
Harris's stepdaughter, is that who that was?
Yes.
Okay. She looked gorgeous. I loved that thing.
That's a cool coat. I'm looking at it now. Man, yeah, everyone just fucking killed it. I just loved Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama's purple was just nuts.
Good. Apparently, I'm not the only one who noticed it. Ella Emhoff. It says it was the breakout style star. I really loved that coat. That coat is super rad.
Yeah, her outfit screams administrators of the world unite.
It's beautiful, but it definitely it looks like the librarian kind of decided to dress up a little bit.
But you get what I was saying when I said librarian beautiful.
Yep, I definitely get it.
Chic, if you will.
And
Bernie Sanders with the mitts.
Yes, Bernie Sanders once again did the thing that Bernie Sanders is very good at, and he became a meme. Again, without trying.
Once again, I'm coming here to be a meme.
He wore the single coat that he owns and a pair of mittens that were made by a teacher in Vermont out of recycled plastic.
I just love his response. The first thing that he says when he like his official response is, "Yeah, Vermont makes good mittens."
And
so he's a crust punk, but he sleeps in a dumpster.
Of sweaters, and he sold out of them, and he donated all the money to Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Badass.
Yes.
I love you, Bernie Sanders. Yeah. You're such a cool dude.
Effortless badass.
Absolutely. So I think we covered all the politics and the non-geekery, but it has kind of, obviously been a big week for America.
We get to become a video game podcast again? Is that what 2021?
Video games?
So we got another episode of WandaVision this week.
I haven't.
Oh yeah, I'm all caught up.
I forgot to watch
So
it.
yeah, 3.
Okay, I've only seen 2.
Because the first week they did episode 1 and 2, so they released 2 episodes first week, and then episode 3 came out this week. We are firmly in the 70s, and a lot more oddities going on in this episode. We're getting a lot more of that high strangeness. I'm not going to spoil anything.
I have
some
theories.
The stuff that I'm in it for is that high strangeness, and
Really excited.
yeah. So it was. I've seen a lot of people say that. Well, not a lot of people. I've seen some people say that they're not really enjoying the sitcom format and things like that, and they are more into the intrigue. Well, this is a heavy intrigue episode.
I figured it would have to be.
Yeah.
I feel like, without spoiling anything, of course, the first episode sets up the format really well. The second episode begins to introduce the idea that there's something that might not be right. And then the most recent episode is very much like, here's what you guys have wanted.
You get the first real hint that something's wrong in the first episode, though, when the boss comes over with the wife.
But it's definitely a little bit lighter. I agree with Brooks for
it's lighter, but the idea that not everything is as it seems is definitely introduced in that dinner scene.
And the commercials.
Yes,
Those
all the
commercials
Hydra
are great.
commercials.
Those are so good. I'll have to watch that tonight. I haven't watched the new episode. I'm such a bad.
Yeah, it was great. I'm very much looking forward to more. There's 6 more episodes left, so we got 6 more weeks of this. And we had on the day after the inauguration, Resident Evil had to go and upstage everyone with their Resident Evil stream.
Resident Evil, big vampire lady.
Which I found...
That's the only thing that I know about this. I just want to point that out. I'm not a Resident Evil fan, so I have not delved into anything. And all I know is there's a giant zombie or vampire lady.
I found an archive of the stream and started watching because I didn't get to watch it live. And like the stream was over an hour. And then I realized when I opened up that archive that it was about an hour of lead up, an hour long countdown to a 10-minute stream.
What?
Yeah. So this is the 25-year anniversary of Resident Evil. And so we are, I'm personally expecting a lot of celebratory things to come out of Capcom this year because Resident Evil has been a hugely successful franchise for them. One of the things that they did was they dropped a demo, or not really a demo. They call it a visual preview or something like that on the PlayStation 5. It's called Maiden. And
sick.
So you're not playing as the main character of Resident Evil 8, who is Ethan, the same guy from Resident Evil 7. You are playing as Maiden. And it's a good introduction to what you can expect visually in the next-gen graphics. And you basically get to walk around this gorgeous house and get a little introduction to who you're up against, which
House
is
Hunters Resident Evil Edition.
I feel
like the overhead for flipping this house is gonna be too much.
A
400 first game.
A thick, super thick Amazonian vampire lady is
with 2.
Oh yeah.
THICC.
She makes her appearance at the end of the little interactive preview. I will say it's fucking gorgeous. Like RE Engine is beautiful and capable of really, really beautiful visuals. RE Engine on next-gen hardware? Oh, like, there's a hallway that's entirely gold trim. And I've never seen metallics represented in such a way in a game.
I'm just imagining that scene from Hobbit 3 where Thorin Oakenshield's walking down the golden highway or golden hallway.
And there's one thing in the demo that you find a bone necklace in the demo. No one knows what you're supposed to do with it. It does nothing. But similar to when Resident Evil 7 came out, you found a dummy finger in Resident Evil 7 that it wasn't immediately apparent what it was for. And they ended up updating the demo, and you could then use the finger to unlock something that would then carry over to Resident Evil 7 when it came out. So we're probably going to see the same sort of thing in Resident Evil 8, where those like myself who have already gone through this demo once are going to have to go through it again and use this bone necklace in order to unlock something in the main game for Resident Evil 8.
Wouldn't it be funny if it did absolutely nothing?
I would be
just
disappointed.
Gets everyone talking about it.
No, it opens like a diary, right? You have to like do this whole thing, and inside the diary it says "Thank you for playing."
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. They have already said that they will be updating the demo. So yeah.
Now with 2 bone necklaces.
Resident Evil 8 is keeping on the trend that the remake of Resident Evil 3 started, in including a new multiplayer game called RE-Verse, which basically has every character from every single Resident Evil game, every villain, every good guy from every Resident Evil game in a multiplayer format.
And you can only walk backwards because it's reversed.
Jesus. That was good.
Honestly, I'm crazy stoked for it. That's all that they've announced so far for they're also doing a crossover with Tom Clancy's Division 2, where you can get Stars outfits in Division 2.
Oh, okay. Nice. But that's cute.
Yeah. So that's fine, I guess. Yeah.
But it's not taking too much time away from the Division team, since they should be working on my open world Star Wars game.
But I do hope that we see more in celebration of the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil than just this RE-Verse thing, which is cute and it's fine and all, but
I know we won't get it because they've already done it, but I would love a remake of the first game in the RE engine, because I beat both 2 and 3, and it was a lot of fun going through those old adventures, and I love the first game.
God, they're so good in RE engine.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did cheat playing through the third one because I spent the extra couple of bucks and just unlocked all the infinite ammo stuff.
Oh God. I don't know. I imagine 0 and 1 have to be on the end of their list of what to remake next, because
I could see them combining those two. I could see
them combining them as well. But at some point, those two are going to have to come out in RE Engine. I would guess that Code Veronica is next.
Is anyone clamoring for that, though?
Probably not.
I don't even remember anything about Code Veronica other than what the box looked like.
Yeah, same. But I mean, revisiting it in RE Engine, I think would probably be worthwhile. Like, you know, I never played a ton of 3 either, but playing through 3 and what I did play back when 3, you know, first came out, I don't remember any of that shit, but jumping into 3 remake, god damn, that was great. It was wonderful.
It was a spicy game.
Yeah.
And it looked great. It looked so good.
And that dodge mechanic. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. But so, you know, I feel like they're taking the opportunity with these remakes to not just re-up the visual style and make things more modern and things like that, but to also kind of fix some of the things that were wrong or not great in these dated games.
I do want to point out, I tried to play through the first, you know, they did the HD remaster of Resident Evil 1, which wasn't
on GameCube.
They didn't change the gameplay really. It was more just a visual update.
Right, and it was gorgeous.
They fixed the controls at least.
Yeah.
They weren't super tanky.
They were still bad.
Like weirdo girl living in like the basement and like they added a bunch of like swamplands and stuff around it, like a whole like kind of cult aspect to it that wasn't in the first one.
Yeah,
I didn't get very far. I just was like, this, even with the updated controls, I'm like, this hurts my hands to play.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, didn't the original Resident Evil, like very original PlayStation Resident Evil, not have like the knife and the grenade and stuff like that? Like you couldn't, when you were being attacked by a zombie, you didn't stab them in the face if you had a knife.
I don't remember, to be honest.
They had it.
I feel like that was something that was added in the first remake of Resident Evil. I could be wrong though. It's been so long. Like when the first Resident Evil came out, I didn't own a memory card. It was one of those that I just had to leave the system on, and you know, like played it that way. And that was 1996, and it was fun, but goddamn,
that is bringing me back.
Yeah,
I forgot about.
Don't bump it. Don't bump the console, man.
That's how I had to play through. That's how I had to play through Final Fantasy VII as well. I still didn't have a memory card when Final Fantasy VII came out, and I had to just leave the system on.
I can smell the melting motherboard.
I mean, there's a reason that I ultimately ended up having to do the most widely known fix of, you know, wrapping it in a towel, playing it upside down, like having it upside down in order to get games to read.
I had to play through Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on the GameCube, because like just as I got it, my GameCube memory card corrupted and I couldn't reformat it, so I didn't have any fucking I just didn't have any money because I'm a kid. And that game's fucking long, is I just like left it on for like probably a month while I was playing through it.
Yeah,
I want to go dig out my PlayStation now.
The good old days when gaming was, where we did anything we could to play a game, and now it's like, if I can't just stream it immediately on my phone.
Right. What it takes is going to take 15 minutes to install. Boo. I want it now.
I caught myself doing that yesterday because I got my PS5.
Oh, did it arrive?
Yeah, it did. I got it on Amazon, so it was like 2 days.
Nice.
Or one day. It was the next day after. Actually, I got it Friday. Sorry. But like I'm like downloading all of my games and it's going so fast, and I'm talking to Kalis and I'm just like, man, this is like so fast. It's downloads so much quicker. The Wi-Fi is way better. And he's like, was that ever an issue? I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I just downloaded games and it was like an hour. Like I can't wait an hour for a game. Dude,
it was so bad on the PlayStation 4. It was so bad on the PlayStation 4.
You know, having had a PS4 for a year now. Thanks, guys. Going from the PS3 to the PS4, those load times are crazy fast on the PS4 in comparison. And downloading games, because like Zeke and I talk about it all the time too. We're just like, man, we just downloaded like 50 gigs of information onto this thing in like 20 minutes. You know, it was like, wow. So hearing you complain about the PS4's load times, I'm like, fuck.
Did you get a PS4 Pro, Brooks?
No, just regular.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we just got him a normal one.
Also, Ghost of Tsushima still fucking blows my mind how fast that game just everything. Like, I don't even have time to read all the tips.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job optimizing that game.
It's a terrible game to text somebody through.
Speaking of optimized games, Cyberpunk 2077 got its first big patch.
Yep. Is it playable on the console yet?
Apparently, it introduces a game-breaking bug.
Yeah, I saw that.
99 bugs in the code on the wall. 99 bugs in the code. Take one down. Patch it around. 137 bugs in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
You strike me as the kind of person that when you were a child, I would have stuffed you in the back seat, if we were on a road trip somewhere. Just put my headphones on.
Aren't I that Let's be completely honest. Aren't I that currently? I haven't.
Well, yes, but
myself.
But bullying you as an adult, introduces certain legal complications. But bullying the imaginary child version of you I have in my head, that's free.
It was a lot easier. I was smaller and I was faster, so maybe you couldn't catch me.
Well, I am a dream warrior, sir. You Dawkin.
So I have been kind of looking at some of these emulation systems that have come out recently. The Retroid Pocket 2 is probably one that I've seen that seems to be the highest rated little handheld emulation system. But there's one that's the Pocket Go SN30 or something like that. It is an SNES controller. It's the dog bone with a screen in the center of it. And it made me want it so bad until I watched a review on it. And they're like, yeah, this thing is easy to drop in, and drop games on and everything like that. But when it comes to playing the games, it's not optimized and the games do not play well.
That's sad.
But I love the form factor. Like, I feel like something has to be done to be able to save this thing. Because, like, seriously, think about having, like, basically an SNES. It would be like having a Sega Nomad for Super Nintendo. But it also plays Genesis, Game Gear, fucking
I've actually seen somebody
Dreamcast.
With one of those at a coffee shop. And I was just like, man, this guy looks like a fucking idiot.
But so the one
it was actually Ryan.
The one that I have is the Gpd Xd, which takes the Nintendo 3DS clamshell design and makes an Android portable out of it.
It's kind of cool.
And
cool.
It's really decent. It's really quite decent. And this is just the Gpd Xd. They have a Gpd Xd Plus, which is a little bit more powerful.
And Gpd Xd Dream Drop Distance.
And they just introduced on Indiegogo the Gpd Win 3, which is a Windows system that has display in the center, switch-like controls on the left and right. You can slide the display up to reveal a keyboard underneath, a touch keyboard underneath that's very similar in design to Sony made a pocket computer. And back in the early 2000s, there was an entire UMPC craze, ultra mobile PC.
I think I remember that fad.
And Sony made one. I can't for the life of me remember what Sony's UMPC was called, but it was.
I was gonna say it kind of sounded like one of those Envy phones, which I had in high school.
because out of that came the Chromebook thing, right?
Yeah. Kinda. So like Chromebooks are just laptops, just low power laptops. The UMPCs were handheld PCs that were full featured PC software, larger than a PDA, but smaller than a laptop. And I
remember these things.
always wanted one. So here now we've got the GPD Win 3, which is on Indiegogo. It's about $1,000. And it's a Radeon system on a chip system. People, like reviewers, have already gotten their hands on prototypes and have been able to play fairly taxing games on it at decent frame rates, at like 30 frames per second frame rates.
Crisis?
What's that?
I said, does it play Crisis?
Yes, it does. Now the question is, does it play Cyberpunk? And yes, it does. Yeah, it's impressive.
But, does it run Crisis?
Honestly, I don't think the question can be, can it run Cyberpunk? Because nothing can technically run Cyberpunk.
Actually, that's not true. PCs can run Cyberpunk with no problems.
You just
few problems.
You just actually to my joke.
Yeah, shit. It's because it wasn't a funny joke.
I just remembered. I saw a trailer or an announcement for an old game that I forgot that people cared about, including myself. They're doing a new Ghosts and Goblins game.
Yes, they are.
Ew, that looks cool.
And
it looks hard as fuck too.
The art style is very interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's like puppety.
Yes,
but like paper doll puppety kind of.
It's almost like a stop motion animation-y kind of thing. Like real, it's like if they decided to give the Yoshi's Crafted World treatment to Ghosts and Goblins.
Resurrection, right?
Yes,
I think so. All I know is I'm glad that my boy Arthur is out for another spin in the real world that isn't a Marvel vs. Capcom game.
Yes.
I'm pretty stoked. I loved Ghosts and Goblins.
It's such a fucking difficult game, though.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah.
I've wanted to do an Arthur like costume for a con for a while, but it's a little hard for me to do exactly what I want because I am far too demanding.
It's also hard to do anything for a con because they don't exist right now.
Yeah, there is that. That is a thing.
Well, it was another shattered, distant dream, Tyler.
That joke will never not be funny to me.
So
once we gather the 12 crystal shawarmas and input them into the Radiant Dream Machine, harvesting our childhood memories and creating shadow versions of ourselves.
So while I was drooling over potential emulation systems, I realized that I already had the perfect emulation system.
Your cell phone?
The Bible.
Imagination.
The Nintendo Switch. I have my launch Switch, which is perfect for emulating. It's super easy to hack, and I keep it offline. I don't have my account tied to this. This is basically this is a launch Nintendo Switch, so it's not in the best condition, but it runs great. It works perfectly fine, and in addition to I can do. Let's see. So right now I'm in RetroArch, and from RetroArch I can play the cores that I have downloaded are for Game Boy / Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, NES, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, and PlayStation. And outside of that, there is actually a PSP PSP emulator for it.
The PP.
So
I
playing
use that on a console, or not a console, on a PC before. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. So that means playing.
Hey, what's it called, Ryan?
What's it called?
PPSSPP.
That.
So playing Crisis Core on the Nintendo Switch.
Couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Couldn't hear you.
Isn't that how you call your cat?
But yeah, it's a beautiful screen. Crisis Core plays with like no problems whatsoever. It's all super smooth. So it's great.
Ryan, does it play Crisis?
Core.
All around me are familiar faces. One places. One places.
You said Crisis. It's like a buzzword, Ryan.
But there were a ton of great PSP games that, now it's apparent that Sony's pretty much done trying to compete in the portable landscape. Those PSP games deserve to continue on and be accessible.
Right, like Half Minute Hero.
Half Minute Hero is so goddamn good.
Oh, the soundtrack rips, and the game is just so fucking funny.
The concept is fucking great, and it's hilarious. But playing these PSP games on a Switch screen is fucking great. It's awesome. And playing Game Boy games, like going back to the first Wario Land and Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins and shit like that. Like, there were some great games on those old systems. So it's a really great little catch-all system. So if you have a Nintendo Switch to spare, or you're not worried about being banned by Nintendo's servers, I'm absolutely not advocating for you to maybe hack your Switch. And on top of that, get the theme controls, the theme abilities that Nintendo hasn't given us.
Bullshit.
It's all about the theme.
Look at how pretty my fucking home screen is. Look at how well organized and pretty the home screen is with this goddamn theme.
Wow.
You've got the fucking store and settings and power and little icons up here. All these things that are irrelevant to everything else, just kind of, sort of tucked away in their own little places. And just the organization is beautiful. For fuck's sake, Nintendo, let us finally theme our systems.
Nintendo doesn't like.
Let us theme.
By the way, I don't think there's much more first world requests for people. And if you have a Nintendo Switch to spare.
Well, if you're like me and bought a Nintendo Switch on day one, and then they upgraded the battery and you bought the upgraded battery one.
I did not. I mean, I'm not allowed to say shit because I just got a PS5, but
I have you got a PS5? Oh, that's right.
Oh, did you get a PS5?
Tyler, I heard. Did you get one?
I did.
Yeah.
I have
that's news.
A Switch with the old battery, and I have a Switch Lite. So,
I mean, so if you wanted to fully move on to the Switch Lite and not take your old Switch online.
I like to be able to plug into the TV occasionally.
Sure.
I thought Ryan was about to rich shame you. But can you have a Switch to match every one of your shits that you have?
Look, I gave away my Switch Lite to.
Do you have a Switch for
a
black
person
tie and white tie occasions?
I gave away my Switch Lite to a person who did not have a Switch, and she had been using it because they had been using it because their Animal Crossing island was on it, and I just said keep it.
Aw. Then now you'll do a tax write-off on that just so you make sure. No good deed doesn't get paid for.
And with you having definitely not hacked that first gen Nintendo
Certainly
Switch.
Not. Absolutely not.
Certainly not. But theoretically, will it? Can you plug that into your television?
I can.
Way?
Yes.
Will it work? Yep. Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah, it doesn't lose that, and it's actually a non-destructive hack. So
the emulated games on your television.
Yeah. It's
we encourage that kind of thing.
It's a non-destructive hack. So you can actually choose which firmware you boot into when you start up the system, whether you start into custom firmware or you start into the stock firmware. And the custom firmware doesn't exist on the system; it exists on the SD card. So you're not overwriting anything on the system itself. It's a completely non-destructive hack.
Oh, red, like those R4s for the DS.
Yeah, it's same sort of idea. Yeah. And that's why, like, there are a number of different hacks that are available for the Nintendo Switch. The most popular one being Atmosphere as a custom firmware. But you can also load Android onto the Nintendo Switch, and because you're just running it off of an SD card, you're not overwriting anything. All you have to do, you can swap out SD cards. Like if you want to load into custom firmware for the use of homebrew and things like that, then that are made for the Nintendo Switch, then you can use that SD card. If you want to load into Android and get access to all of the Android games, and in addition to that, the emulation that's very well supported already and established on Android as a platform, you just put that card in. And if you want none of it, you can have just a bare card where nothing's hacked, you're good. Like the only thing that you have to do in order to boot into any of this stuff is you put your Switch into what's called RCM mode. And when the controllers are on the side of the Switch, there are pins at the bottom of the controllers that connect with pins in the system. It's how the controllers charge and stuff like that. They charge off of the system. So if you short the first and last pins on the system itself and power it on, screen will stay black, but it's then in RCM mode. And you do that with just a little piece of metal like this, or you can buy a jig online that automatically shorts those pins. And then you connect it to your computer and you load a payload into it, which is called Hecate or Hecate, Hekate. And that loads you into a thing that lets you choose what you boot into, whether you're booting into a custom firmware that's loaded on the SD card or booting straight into the normal firmware as you normally would.
I'm in.
Now, when you're hacking, do you have to wear the fingerless gloves and and the padded jackets and y'all
Sick guitar solo?
Hack the planet!
Industrial music intensifies.
And in fact, if you want to hack pretty much anything that you own, like any game system that you own, go to like gamesystem.hacks.guide. So like switch.hacks.guide walks you through, like in the most simple of terms, how to hack whatever version of Switch that you have. 3ds.hacks.guide, same thing.
Says don't.
Not that we encourage this kind of thing.
We do not condone or encourage people to do these things. Actually, I would for the 3DS because it's a dead system now. Once it's a dead system, I say it's fully, free reign. Because anything else is anti-consumer. Otherwise, you've got a pointless piece of hardware sitting around that's not going to receive support or updates from the company that created it.
Darn. Yeah. Yep. Well.
No.
But yeah, just do the hacky thing. Play the old games, especially save the PSP games, because there's a lot of really, really good games on the PSP.
Hacky Nintendo Switch. Collect rainwater. Take things across the state borders. Transport fruit and vegetables into California.
Whoa.
Settle down.
Do we have to do like a
take it easy? Take it easy.
Floating thing. Topless Robot is not a.
Have to pixel it out.
Every episode from here on out, you're just going to be a shadow with a voice modulator, so no one knows who you are.
My name is certainly not Brooks Wilson.
In local news, we've finally caught up with our neighbors, and weed is legal in Arizona, and technically has been since January 1st. But amazingly, while we were not anticipating dispensaries to get their recreational licenses until April, 86 dispensaries received their recreational licenses this past week.
Sick.
So,
people dope. Play Nintendo Switch.
Call your grandma.
Call your grandma. She worries.
How much you care?
Shit, I got it actually. I'm sorry. I got COVID right after fucking Christmas. It made it difficult to call.
Obviously, every dispensary in Tempe was probably lines for hours because all the ASU students, but there were, I know Al had posted a picture at the dispensary he went to, and there was no line at all. So
I saw another picture from a friend over on my side of town that it was completely full. Like there's just tons of people.
Really?
We stocked up, but before this, we made it. We set aside cash and took care of those arrangements before the recreational opened up.
And because Arizona was a medical state before it was a recreational state, there are a lot of people who still have medical cards that are now 2-year medical cards. Or as of the beginning of last year, I think is when they switched over for the renewal period to be every 2 years instead of every 1 year. And there's still a point to having a medical card depending on how often you buy weed, because the medical card, if you're buying with the medical card, you're not paying taxes on what you buy. Recreational is taxed at 16%.
Oh, wow.
So, but all that tax goes to community colleges and infrastructure and things like that.
So what you're saying is drugs are helping school.
Yeah.
So the more weed that you buy and smoke, the better education that our kids get. Think about it. It's your duty. It's your duty.
This is the future liberals want.
This is 100%. Uh-oh. Where is Kalen looking?
I'm looking at Kalen's dick.
Sorry, Kalen's PPSSPP.
It has an updated firmware, I'll tell you what.
Let me show you its hard drive. Oh, that one doesn't get a laugh? I'm sad.
No.
That was funny.
PSP didn't have a hard drive.
Ryan, Jesus, I'm not a dummy.
Can't wait to see Kalen's proprietary memory cards.
Check out my memory stick Pro Duo.
Check out my memory dongle.
It didn't have dongles.
God damn it, Ryan, I hate you.
So, what games have you gentlemen been playing? Let's start with Tyler, Tyler, I heard you just got a PlayStation 5.
Oh, wait. Stop the presses. Tyler got a PS5?
Wait, Tyler, you got a PS5?
Did I know? I haven't told anybody yet. You guys are the first.
I think he may have gotten a PlayStation 5.
I did.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. He must have got it from someplace like Amazon or something. Did you get it on Amazon, Tyler?
I just get it on Amazon, Brooks. I got it on Amazon, and yeah. It's awesome. I'm playing Spider-Man Morales right now. Holy fuck, that game is gorgeous.
You're playing Spider-Man Morales now if you're on the podcast with us.
I know that you probably have it on fidelity right now. Put it on performance.
I remembered you saying something about it, but I wanted to see how pretty it was.
It is definitely very pretty, but like the biggest benefits with fidelity is seeing, some of the reflections and stuff in the buildings. When you're whizzing by shit, it doesn't really stand out all that much. That frame rate makes more of a difference than you think.
I'll switch it up. I'm loving it though. I also made use of the 4K disc drive and watched Beetlejuice. Thank you, Ryan. 4K Beetlejuice is kind of strange because it looks so
right.
It looks like it was filmed yesterday, but Alec Baldwin's 30 years younger.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I'm like, what?
That he's in that.
I did too.
It's kind of like every couple of years I get a hankering to watch The Shadow.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It's not
Who
good.
knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Only Tyler's PS5 knows.
Who knows? The Shadow knows.
And actually, I was really sad that movie ended up sucking because when I was a little kid, I had those old time radio shows on cassette. I used to listen to episodes of The Shadow when I was like 3. And I specifically remember one with a werewolf, and it was fucking awesome.
Those are all on Spotify, actually.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I feel like you've told me that before, and I must have forgotten.
I'm pretty sure.
No, because I just found out this last week. I had them on CD at one point. I think I was telling you about that back then.
Because those old fucking radio shows were so great. Brought to you by Ovaltine.
We should get a hold of an old. Surely those are in the public domain by now.
And do a script, re-recording of a script. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool. Oh, hello,
Doctor.
Yeah.
That's not a naked cat.
Doctor.
So,
I could tell you.
Hey, doctor! I got a PS5. Just in case
you didn't tell.
I gotta shout it from the rooftops.
So, did you play Astra's Playroom?
I did. Oh my god!
The only way you can play that is if it was on the PS5. Did you get a PS5?
I got a PS5. I know.
Played on
You're getting
mode or performance mode?
Huh?
Did you play it on fidelity mode or performance mode?
Astra's Playroom? I'm so confused. Hey, did you know I got a PS5?
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time
Go
loop?
on.
Did you get a PS5?
Yeah, Astra's Playroom was really cool. Like the feeling the one that got me when you're like going through and it's showing you everything, or showing you the controls and everything, is when they put a whole bunch of shit into the PlayStation 5 controller.
Yeah,
and then you can like move it around and like you shake it and it's making noise and it feels like there's something in the PlayStation controller. Like, holy shit, that vibration function is insane. Like, I thought the Switch's HD rumble was cool, but this is just another level. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And the little pitter patter that changes when you're walking on like metal to whatever the material is, and fuck, it's so cool and fun. Like, it's a fun little platformer. I haven't gotten too far in it.
It's way better than a tech demo. Effectively, a tech demo has any right to be.
Yeah, and it's kind of long. I probably played it for a good like hour and a half and didn't even get through the jungle section. Like,
yep.
And like I'm playing the monkey, and the monkey's fun. But yeah, the PS5 is fucking sweet. Like, it's nice to be able to play 4K games for the first time ever, and it's all pretty.
For the first time ever.
Is Miles Morales the only game that you've bought so far?
Yes, because
did you buy the combo or Miles Morales on its own?
I got the combo.
Okay.
I got the combo because it was like $20 more or whatever. So I was like, why not? I'll get the remastered version of the original. And
the original is incredible as well. So
it's so much fun.
I love the original. And again, like starting Morales up and like as soon as you get through fighting Rhino and like are actually able to fly around the city and stuff.
That whole intro fight is so much fucking fun.
It is. It's so cool. I thought that they were, well, I won't spoil anything, but that fight's so fun. But like, again, like immediately after, and it's like, hey, go here and do your thing. And I like just flew around or zipped around Manhattan for like an hour because it's just, again, like it's the most fun I've ever had moving around in a game.
Absolutely.
And now it's even prettier and like it feels like a whole new thing. So.
Seriously, just wait until you put it on performance mode.
Okay. I'll switch
Those
it over.
frames are very, very sweet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's basically what I've been watching or playing. How about you, Brooks?
I have been. I didn't have a lot of time to play video games this week. Played a little more Ghost of Tsushima, and then I got Scott Pilgrim, and I've been. I'm on the last stage right now, and I have leveled up Scott as far as he can go. But I also know where everything is, and so I was able to just be like, okay, so I need this much money to get this, and I know where the secret thing is, and bing, bang, boom, we're done. And it's taken me back. I did not realize how much I missed it. So
it's such a solid beat 'em up. I'm genuinely shocked that they let it disappear for as long as they did.
Yeah, I remember there was a kind of a thing. When they took it off the store pretty suddenly, which is why I still have it on my PS3. I was like, this isn't going anywhere in case I can't get it back. 10 years later.
I still have never played that game, and I know I need to.
It's outstanding.
It's great.
4K HD at 60 frames per second.
You have to turn on fidelity mode to really capture the essence.
I got a PS3 this, but I got a PS5, so
we should call this episode "Tyler Got a PS5."
This episode is already called "Super Thick Amazonian Vampires."
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but have you seen Super Thick Amazonian Vampires 2?
The babening?
You mean what was the stupid Nazi vampire series that Yui Boll did? It was like a
Blood Rain.
Fat chick. No, he did. Did he do Blood Rain?
Yes, he did do Blood Rain.
But he also did like big titty goth GF vampire Nazi movies.
I kind of wanted that sentence to keep going.
is that he is a big player in the economics of industrial music and leather outfits. Without him.
Big titty goth Nazi
Blubberella.
Socialist communism. Blubberella?
An action comedy centered on an overweight woman whose footsteps cause explosions and whose dual swords are used against anyone who makes fun of her.
Clearly, this sounds like the pinnacle of entertainment.
Yeah.
No, the pinnacle of entertainment.
The English Patient. Here comes something fresh.
The pinnacle of entertainment is the movie I saw that was recommended to me on Amazon Prime yesterday, Velocipaster. About a
Velocipaster is well known.
Classic, yeah.
Is it? I have never heard
it's a new
of it.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a new classic B flick.
There's also Lamageddon.
Yep.
I saw Lamageddon.
And obviously, there's also things like Thanksgiving and Evil Bong and shit like that. It's all the same category of cinema.
Garbage.
But delicious garbage.
Nah, most of those are too like I'll give them like one watch just to.
Thanksgiving is actually pretty good.
I just the puppet I mean, the puppet is fine, but those movies are just so slow sometimes, and I'm like, okay, we're out shooting this scene in the forest again. You know,
cut them in half, put them on YouTube.
Oh, totally.
Right, just give me a compilation.
How about you, Kalen? What have you been playing?
I played a little bit more Dark Souls 3. I'm still working on it. I hear my brother playing it in the next room. It sounds like he's on the final boss. I'm a little farther behind. And then for the Snailmate show last week for my birthday, we played, or I was trying to play Piku Niku, but we were spinning. We had a wheel for everyone who donated money. They got to spin. And some of the categories were like chug a beer, drink a shot of vodka, drink a shot of pickle juice, drink a shot of hot sauce, a couple other things. And like people just kept throwing money at it, and I kept spinning the wheel, and I got real fucked up on my birthday. So
that's right.
Really playing Piku Niku.
Kalen's birthday was last week.
For your birthday, Tyler got a PS5.
Not for you either. It's actually for me.
Kalen did a couple of birthday streams. One was on the 20th, the day before his birthday, and one was on the 21st, his birthday proper. And
and none of you got a gift for him, and you should feel bad.
No, I
his gift is my presence.
I tuned in on the 20th and told him, I said, hey, happy birthday. The whole country chipped in and got you a new president.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you now?
34.
He is so old.
So I'm wearing my overalls.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out to we're gonna go to Ace Hardware and get a couple of bolts and try to make it down to Luby's by 2 for dinner time.
Do you qualify for the?
You'll stop at the model train store if we're not too tuckered out.
Do you qualify for the senior special?
Wednesdays are my day to go to the grocery store between 7 and 8.
I feel like the little kid at the kid table over here.
I don't know why you young people have to dress so weird.
Got blue hair, young man.
And then me and Ryan, the old guys, we're the ones with the piercings in our nose.
Yeah.
What world is this?
You outlasted the old people who complained about him.
They stand tall on a mound of their bodies.
I can't wait to get back and play Piku Niku again because I didn't hardly play it because I got so distracted by spinning the wheel, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a Devolver Digital title. It looks a lot of fun. I think I started playing it. I like the physics of it. It seems pretty neat.
Yeah.
Wait, a Devolver Digital title that we like?
This is surprising.
That's as
surprising as finding out that Tyler got a PS5.
Extremely surprising. By the way, I don't know if you heard.
PlayStation 5. Tyler's got
it. Yes, another joke that we can run into the ground.
What'd you play?
I have been playing a variety of things since allegedly not hacking at all my Nintendo Switch again.
It's a great game.
I continued on in Chrono Trigger. And right now I'm at the Guru of Life. It's the Guru of Woe mission. And I'm at the fight, the Giga whatever the fuck fight.
Giga Gigas?
Whatever the fuck it is. I
really wish it was called
absolutely hate
whatever the fuck.
I hate it. It's got 2 arms and a head as separately targetable things. One is a healing arm, one's a damage arm, and it does a lot of damage. A whole lot of damage. And so the move is to knock out the damage arm first, the attack arm first. And it's supposed to, in the DS version, only have 1,000 hit points. I have single hit, 1,200 hit points on that thing and it didn't die. So that's very obnoxious.
Who's your party?
My party, my party had been Chrono, Marl, and Lucca, and I switched it up. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I added Isla, and swapped out Lucca to do some heavy hitters. But
that's interesting. I never use them. I mean, I'll use Isla sometimes. But my core team through most of the game, whenever I get them, is Chrono, Frog, and Robo.
Really?
Because those guys just smash wide open any gate.
Right, but Marl's my healer.
Healing is for squares.
But then I've also started up Castlevania Aria of Sorrow again, because it's been so long since I revisited that game, and it is one of the best Castlevania games. The GBA Castlevania games are outstanding. Harmony of Dissonance a little bit less so, but Aria of Sorrow and Circle of the Moon are both really, really great games. Also, I played a little bit of the Bloodstained update of Classic Mode in the Bloodstained update, which is interesting and as infuriating as you would expect it to be, because it's got the old school knockback. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of
that. My least favorite element of old school Castlevania is that fucking brutal ass knockback. So that's what I've been playing, and it's been good.
I'm just verifying where you are in Chrono Trigger. So I wanted to say something.
Okay.
But I'm not going to.
Okay. Fair enough. Right. On that note, thanks everyone for watching and or listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye!
I got a PS.
Man, I'm glad this podcast is over because I gotta take a dump.
Tell the Pope to wait, okay? I can't consecrate that many things in one day. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. My name is, Richard? Oh.